Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the slight delay. Shalom. I'm David Mensa, Israeli government spokesman for the National Public Diplomacy Directorate in the Office of the Prime Minister. It's Tuesday, the 29th of October, day 389 of this war which was launched against us. Firstly, on the tragic fallen amongst Israel's armed forces, it is with regret that I share with you that since the start of this war, Israel's fallen soldiers have unfortunately risen to 776. Major Guy Yaakov Nezri was 25 years old and from Atalit. Major Nezri was severely wounded 10 days ago in a battle against Hamas in northern Gaza, but yesterday succumbed to his wounds. First Sergeant Naor Chaimov was 22 years old and from Rosh Ha'ayin. First Sergeant Aviv Gilboa was 21 and from Neve Tzuf. First Sergeant Nissim Meital was 20 and from Chadera. And Captain Yonatan Keren was 22 years old and from Moledet. All these boys died fighting Hamas terrorists in northern Gaza. As the Prime Minister said this week, speaking, I think, for the entire nation, we stand in awe of the heroism of the fallen, the heroism of their families put through indescribable suffering, grief and pain that cannot be described. We are in the midst of an existential war and a difficult war, and a war that exacts painful prices from all of us. May our fallen be blessed and be remembered in our hearts always. Now an update from those battles in northern Gaza. Our defense forces are decisively fighting Hamas's attempt to regroup in Jabalia. Over the past day, our forces have eliminated 40 terrorists in ground and aerial strikes, taking apart terror infrastructure. Now, IDF is facing Hamas terrorists dressed as civilians, which is a war crime, trying to plant explosives near our troops. But these terror cells have also been eliminated. In Rafah too, IDF ground troops have directed the Israeli Air Force in a strike on a number of terrorists in the area. Now the case against UNRWA. As you know, last night the Knesset approved legislation to cease the operations of UNRWA in Israel, with an overwhelming majority of 92 to 10 in our 120-seat Knesset. They voted to sever ties with the organization. For months now, we shared with you that UNRWA is unfortunately tainted by terrorism. To put it simply, UNRWA perpetuates the conflict. Why? Because Hamas have effectively infiltrated UNRWA. Now, this is of utmost importance. Israel will continue to work with other UN and international organizations to ensure that aid reaches Gazan residents and not the terrorists. Our message is extremely clear. Yes to humanitarian aid, but no to aid for terrorism. The UNRWA organization is infected with terrorism, and here are 5 points of why we have come to this conclusion. Number one, UNRWA employees actively participated and have been exposed as terrorists themselves. They are often one and the same people, UNRWA staff being terrorists. Number two, UNRWA buildings have been used as cover for rocket launching sites. Number three, UNRWA schools have been hijacked of dens of incitement and pro-terrorist education. Every Hamas terrorist went to an UNRWA school. Let me say that again. Every Hamas terrorist went or is a graduate of an UNRWA school. Number four, UNRWA buildings double as havens for terrorists and their weaponry. And finally, number five, the perpetuation of the refugee status. In contrast, UNRWA, if you contrast UNRWA with the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, the UNHCR focuses on resettling refugees. UNRWA, unfortunately, simply inculcates Gazans that they will eventually erase Israel. So they perpetuate the refugee crisis across many generations. It considers millions of descendants of original refugees, many of whom who have citizenship elsewhere, as refugees, and thereby blocking a long-term resolution to this conflict. The conclusion is obvious, therefore. UNRWA must be replaced with organizations that are not infected with terrorism. But know this: a state that funds UNRWA is helping a terrorist organization that is harming the region and its future. Finally, before your questions, I want to update you on the latest figures from COGAT getting aid into Gaza. Yesterday, 100 trucks went into Gaza laden with food and humanitarian aid, 49 through Kerem Shalom and 51 through Erez. That means that 1,086,000 tons of aid have gone into Gaza in total. Hamas wanted a humanitarian crisis. Israel have prevented one. And still, our daily reminder that 625 trucks of aid are waiting to be distributed on the Gazan side of Kerem Shalom by UN agencies. Since the start of this war, food, medication, vaccines are delivered daily with no limits on the quantities. Indeed, the polio vaccination program has seen Israel cooperating with the World Health Organization, with UNICEF, to prevent a polio outbreak in Gaza and the entire region. So that's the end of our briefing here today. Questions in the chat, and we'll get to each one of them.